Finally done the sunflower cardigan, kimono style. I know it's the wrong time of year, but it could be good for festivals. I haven't done any finishing, I've just granny stitched to the end, apart from the back where we've got our sunflowers. It's nice and big, nice and cozy, so yeah, you could do for your campfires or your festivals. So I'll be just doing a quick kind of tutorial. I've got other longer tutorials on hexagon cardigans, but I just wanted to show you this one because it's got the sunflowers down the middle. I haven't done that before, you know, the granny squares. Just thought I'd do that for a change. So if you want to have a look, see what I've done, how I've done it, stick around. I'm getting all my yarns together for this project. I've got the Women's Institute brown, chocolate brown. This is the beige and I use 200 grams of each colour. Milk cotton. But it all works together. I hope I've got enough to do this. I've done half of the cardigan because I'm impatient. I don't like recording all the time. So I'm going to make this for you. And then in the middle, down the back, possibly them. And then my pockets. So I'm going to use a 4.5 hook, usual snippers and a darning needle. So I'm going to start off doing the hexagon square. And we'll go from there. Start with your circle in the middle. So we're going to do a slip knot, chain 4. And because I want it to look like a sunflower, I'm starting with the brown in the middle. So chain 4, slip stitch into the first chain, and I've gone really cold now. Chain 3 and look for your centre hoop, which is there. Oops, I'm losing it. That's the worst part about the crocheting, is just the setting off bit. That's it. So we do a cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and a cluster of 3 double crochets, chain 2, and we do this for 6 times because we've got 6 sides on your hexagon cardigan. So chain 2 in between each one, and that gives us room to make our clusters on the next round into the chain 2 space. So it'll get a bit tight, but you just keep pushing your work around. One more cluster. And chain 2. We're just going to join at that very first chain, 1, 2, the third at the top. Slip stitch into that one And I'm going to slip stitch across, or you could turn because we're keeping the same colour, but I'm going to slip stitch into that next gap and chain 3. For this round we're putting corners in every gap, so for a corner we're going to have a cluster, which is your 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet into the same gap. Then we don't have a chain now in between. I'm only going to chain in the corners. So just, this is how it's looking on the second round. It is a bit harder to see with it being the darker colour. I'll just get some more yarn out. So it's no chain in between. And then we've got the next gap, which we're going to do a corner. So we're going to do this 6 times. So when you've done it 6 times, if you know that this is where you need to make sure that it's right, because this is the setting for the whole of your side of your cardigan. So that's our corner. I'm going to yarn over and then double crochet into the next gap. Feels a bit strange as well because you haven't got a lot of crochet work to hold on to. We're going to chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Find your next gap. So if you look for your 1, 2, 3, and you can see it popping up there. Oops. Chain 2. So we'll go for the next gap. Chain 2. And that's another cluster done. Going into another corner. This is the last corner. 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. So we're at the end of our second round. I'm going to do the same again. So your first chain 3, 1, 2, 3. I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of there. And I'm going to slip into the next corner. So that's 2 rounds, just to make sure you've got your 6 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So for the cardigan, I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rounds of the chocolate brown. So that's 2 done. So this round is slightly different. So we're setting off in the corner. I try to make me working into the corners, especially if I'm doing squares, because if I finish in a corner, I'll leave a long tail. It gives me a bit of yarn to sew up, but it doesn't always work that way. So you're back into the corner. We're going to chain 3 and 3 double crochet. So that chain is your first double crochet. Chain 2 and 3 double crochet. Now we're going to go into the gaps between your corners. So that's that one there. No chains in between. You can if you want, but it makes it, I find, because I'm not a tight crochet, that my cardigan's too loose. So my tension's not tight. So I don't leave any, I don't put any chains in unless it's a chunky wool. But for today, I'm not putting a chain in. So go into that gap there and that's your cluster, which is 3 double crochet. Then we're back into the corner, 3 double crochet, chain 2 and 3 double crochet. And back to the center piece there. So each round you'll be adding one onto your clusters. So where you've got 1 down the side, next round you'll have 2 down the side, and so on. Back to the middle one, which is just a single cluster, and back to the corner. So back at the beginning of the row, our first chain, 1, 2, 3, just going to slip stitch into that and join the row. And that's how it should be looking now. So I've done the five rounds of the chocolate colour. Just going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain as we have done before, and I'm going to cut off there, pull through and leave that there. Then I'm just going to go into a corner, put the knot, slip knot onto the hook. I've had to change hooks. I thought it was too loose. When I've got that, see, there's no good, the hook bit's full. It's got like something in it, where that one's empty. It's a real hook. So it was just sliding off, and I kept thinking, what am I doing wrong? And I think it was making my work too loose. And I bought that special. Can't remember where from now, where I got my yarn. So I'm just going to join in a corner, chain 3, and then carry on as I was. And for this round now, it's round 6. I'll be doing 1, 2, 3, 4 in the middle, and then your corners. So we'll carry on with this colour for 3 rounds, and I'll meet you back then. Now that I've finished 3 rounds of the yellow, I've got into the good part of the corner now. So it's squaring up a bit better. So now I'm just going to go on to doing 2 rows of every colour. It's a bit of a pain having to only do a few rounds and changing yarns, just out of laziness really. So that's how it works out. It's deeper in the middle as if it was a sunflower, and then working its way out. So then I'm doing 2 green, then the stone colour, and then back to brown. And I think there's about 20, I usually do 20 rows if I'm doing like a size 14, 16 UK. It's got to be like a nice baggy one. for me. If I was going the bigger size, I would stop the sleeves now, or even I would have stopped the sleeves maybe a couple of rows before and then just carry on around. So I'm going to crochet up the sleeve and just carry on working around, but I'll show you that when we get to it. So I've got to the same size, so now I've got 2 of the same size, so I'm ready to not join, but I'm ready to do the sleeve because I've had enough. The sleeves are wide enough for me. So when you've got to your sleeve that you're happy with, I've just finished on the corner, so you're just going to bring the 2 edges close together, fold them up, and then bring this edge up, and that is the top of your sleeve up until your neck. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to crochet, make sure that it's inside out. If you want your seams on the outside and you're happy with that, then just do them out right side seam, but I want to hide my seams, and I just crochet, and it's quicker than sewing. So I'm just going to the we've got the gap here on this one and the gap there on that one. Just pull that loop through, and then I'm just going to crochet, put my yarn behind, and then single crochet, or you could slip stitch, but I'll just do a single crochet all the way across the top. So you pick up 1 V from this side and 1 V from that side, and single crochet across the top. Here's one I've done earlier. So that's the sleeve. So you could actually do it smaller if you want, but I think I'm going to do like this, a kimono type. So I'm going to, I was quite happy with the width of that, but if you wanted, you could maybe stop crocheting there and then join that together, and then your sleeves would be shorter. So now we're doing that, and I want to put some squares in the back, but I want the squares to come all the way down. So the next part is make yourself some squares. So I'm going to show you how to make a sunflower starburst granny square. To make our starburst sunflower, I'm going to start by making a circle. So if you like to do your magic circle, you do the magic circle. I like to chain 4 and slip stitch into the first chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Slip stitch into the first chain and pull through. Then I'm going to double crochet 16. That chain 2 will class as my first double crochet. So now I'm just going to find the center and double crochet into the center. 16 double crochets. So just make sure that's separate. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And what I'm doing is I'm crocheting over the end at the back, so it helps me at the end to cinch this center. I've lost count now. It helps me cinch the center in at the end. So if I just crochet over the ends, it's what I normally do with all of my circles. Just makes it easier. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing today. Come on. Right, slow down. So I've lost count, so I'm just going to have a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So the centre of your sunflower is quite big, isn't it, the brown? So I'm going to do 2 rows. So I'm just going to slip stitch into that top of that first double crochet, or this first chain 2, pull tight, and then I'm going to, I don't want to make sure that I've crossed over, so I'm going to just slip stitch in between the chain and the first double crochet, just so that I'm in between one of the gaps, because this round I'm going between all of the gaps. That's it, pull tight. So I'm going to chain 2, so this will be classed as my first double crochet, and then in the same hole, same gap, I'm going to yarn over, reach down, pull through the yarn and pull it up, but don't do anything with it. So that's 1, yarn over, go through the same gap again, hook it back through the yarn, pull it up, that's 2, and yarn over, go through, yarn over, pull through, so that's 3 long loops. So make sure that you try and keep them long. Then it's yarn over and pull through all 3 and your first little chain and chain 1. So that is your first stitch. I forgot what to call it now. So it's yarn over, go through, yarn, pull through the yarn, but pull it up, yarn over, go through, pull up the yarn, yarn over, go through, pull up the yarn 3 times, yarn over, pull through all the loops on the hook, chain 1. So it's yarn over, go through, pull up the loops, yarn over, go through, pull up the loops, yarn over, go through, pull up the loops. So then there would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 loops, yarn over, pull through all of the loops, and then it's chain 1 to secure it. And the chain 1 gets you, goes, so it's getting you around your circle. I'll show you again. Yarn over, go through, pull up, yarn over, go through that gap, pull up 3 times, yarn over, and chain 1. So I will just carry on doing these all the way around, and I will double check at the end that I've got 16. Just going to slip stitch into that first chain. I'm going, before I cut off this brown, I'm just going to check that I've got 16 puff stitches. So I'm going to start from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm just going to cut off there. Now the next stitch is called a cluster stitch. So we want to pick up the mustard or yellowish and then I'm just going to put my slip knot on again. I'm using a 4mm hook, by the way, for this part. And then any gap, we're going to go through the gap, pull through and secure it and do a chain of 2. So that will be classed as our first part of your cluster stitch. Now with this one, you're half doing a double crochet, so you don't finish your double crochet. So it's through, grab your yarn, pull it back through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, go through, pull up and go through 2, and then you've got 4 on your hook. We're going to pull all through together and chain 1. So we're going to yarn over, half double crochet, half double crochet but don't finish, half double crochet, don't finish, got 4 on your hook, and then you yarn over and finish and chain 1. So we just want to, this first part of our double crochet chain piece, we're going to just push that out the way. So we're going into that gap between your puff stitches, yarn over, half finish a double crochet, half finish a double crochet, half finish a double crochet till you've got 4 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 4 and chain 1. We'll jump to the next gap, and that's all we're going to do for this round. Is half, it's not really like a half double crochet, it's half finished double crochet, 4 on your hook, pull through and chain 1. So it's half finished and half finished 3 times, pull through and chain 1. I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain space, and I'm going to pull through. So now the next part is we want to make our circle into a square. So we're going to have to do longer stitches, medium stitches and smaller stitches. So what I'd like to do, because I like to have the strings at the end in the corners, so when I come to sew the next the next square, it's there, it's not in the middle, it's in the corner. So to do that, I'm just going to twist it round a little bit. Grab your green, and I'm going to start on a treble and anywhere on the, I'll do it here so I can, as I go around, I'll try and remember to go over the yarn ends. So I'm going to start anywhere in between the cluster gaps now, in between the clusters into the gap, go through, and I'm just going to latch that on and chain 3. Now my first stitch is going to be a treble, so it's twice around, then back into the center, pull up, yarn through once, yarn through twice, and yarn through 3 times. So that's why it's called a treble. Wrap around twice, pull through, and so that's my corner. I'm going to end on this corner. So my next, into the next cluster gap, I'm going to do a double crochet 3 times. So it's making your actual stitches smaller to incorporate, to make it a straight line. And then into the middle one, we're going to do half double crochets. So through all 3, half double crochets through all 3. And I'm trying to remember to bring up the tail ends to cover them in. Look for the next gap. We're going to work our way back to a corner. So we're going to do a double crochet 3 times. And now we're into the corner space, which is going to be triple So we've got yarn over twice, pull through once, twice, 3 times, triple again, and triple again. That's into our corner. Then we're going to chain 2 and do 3 triples again into the same space. That's 1, 2, and 3. We're going to double into our next space, 3 doubles, half double crochets, and into the corner again. Two chain and a triple. Oops. Our square's coming along nicely now. Done 3 of those. We're going to go into double one into the next space. Half double crochet, reminds me of, and then a double crochet. Reminds me of that Jaffa Cake advert, if you know what I mean. Total eclipse. It's maybe just me. Back into the corner, treble, 3 times. Oops, not quite. Chain 2. Jump to the next one. We've got double crochets, half double crochet, double crochet. I think I'm going to be playing yarn chicken here. Oh, I've got that much left. Right, do we take it all out and see if I can get them all in? Right, half, no, we're doing a half a clustered corner anyways. So we're doing a treble, 1, 2, and 3. Going to chain 2 and attach to the top of our first chain from when we started. Go through the chain bit, and then I'm just going to fasten off, and then I've got a nice piece there. So keep that one there, the edge with the threads below, and then I'm going to take this side and get myself a darning needle, which I should have got before. Join our squares, just going to get corner to corner, right sides together, and then I'm just going to do a slip stitch all through both sides. I'm going to thread back down. I haven't got the right needle here. I've got a pointy one, which is a bit more awkward. They are good though if you want to split the threads, so these never come out. See how it only takes the top few strands. But this green, it's nice to work with, but once it starts splitting, it's harder to use, well, to sew with. So just go backwards and forwards a little bit. Snippy snips. So that's 2. So I'm going to be putting them all the way to the back of my cardigan. And for the pocket one, I've done exactly the same, but when I've just got to the square edge, I've went round another set of granny squares, and then I've went round a single crochet, putting 3 single crochets in each corner so I can get round. So that's been the difference with that one. Squares for down, put my teeth in. I've done the squares for down the centre of the back of the cardigan. So I'm going to attach that to, I'm going to work out which is the 2 sides, you know, the opposite sides. And then I'm going to sew at the very back, start at the top of the back, the neck, and just sew them together down the centre. So this is the centre of the back. I've just popped it there on my mannequin. I'm going to join it at the back neck joint, shoulder joint, and then down each side. It's quite stretchy, so I'm quite happy with that. Obviously just join it to there, and then I can see how many more rows I want to add on to the body of the cardigan. But it's coming together nicely. I think I am going to do it that long. So I'm just going to, I'll bring it a bit closer. I'm just going to sew the edges actually on the mannequin. See if I can get you in a good position so you can see. And all I'm going to do is take the nearest stitch that's towards me. So just take like in the back loop only kind of thing. And I'm doing it like a bit like a blanket stitch, I suppose. So it's like a bit of a loop. So I'm just taking the nearest one side of the V to the other side of the V and pull through tight. So just taking the back part of the stitch and the back part of the stitch on each side. That's it. And then making like a little knot. And then I'm just going to do that all the way down to nearly at the bottom, not quite, because I've still got to add on to the bottom as well. So I'm going to do that all the way down on both sides. See if you can see a little bit better. Just taking the very front, and then like the other side's the top of a granny stitch. So I'm just going to try and do the best I can. It works out quite good in the end. So you can't really see any stitching at all from the good side. I did actually make a boo-boo because this is the best side of the granny starburst. So you can't see the line there. But I've sewn the middle section. Now I've got the back panel in place. I know where I'm going. So I'm going to start just here because I want to add more rows to there. So what it means, I'll be going around the side, up the front, oh, where are we? Around the neck, down the other side, and then we come round to here, turn and come back 2 rows in each colour till we get to probably this length, unless I get fed up and take this last one off. But we'll do that, and then what I'm going to do is probably, I'll try it on if the sleeves need a bit longer, because I don't want them full length and I do want them kimono style. So I'll try it on, but I'll probably add on a few rows at the sleeve end as well. So I will see you back when I've done all that. Here we go. So I did get fed up and took the bottom square off. So I've done that many extras. And when I got close to the edge, I just finished up there. Oh no, I'd finished up there. And then I've done another row of brown all the way around to finish that. And because I've done so many rows, it's made it quite big in the front, which is made like a collar over. So it's going to fit any size because it's got a lot of fabric there. So it's going to be nice. You could also would have thought about doing like a kimono type a belt. And I did add on at the sleeves and I've made them long. And I've finished off with the dark brown. I was going to put a single crochet layer around, but I don't think I will. So I'm quite happy with that now. It's all done. I'm going to try it on and show you what it looks like. I nearly forgot to put the pockets on. Well, I did forget. So because I'm using the stony cream colour, I'm just going to put it on that side of the cardigan. And I'm just going to stitch it on, one there and one there, and then we are finished. Okay. Thank you for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.